Tory Lanez is expected to be sentenced this morning in Los Angeles. The Canadian rapper was found guilty of 3 felonies related to the shooting of fellow rapper Megan Thee Stallion 3 years ago. He faces up to 13 years in prison and deportation to Canada. Robin Nunn is here with us in Studio 57 to talk about this sentencing. She is an attorney and partner with Linklaters LLP. So walk us through what is expected in court today, beyond what I said.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a really, really big day today. Today is the sentencing. It's sort of the culmination of what we've seen over the past few years with this case. Obviously, this case has drawn a lot of attention because of the celebrities that are involved. Both Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez are very high-profile rappers. And there was a lot of, hype and confusion and concern based around this trial. So this is really it.
So in terms of punishment, what can we expect? What will the judge consider? And what are some of the factors that the judge will also kind of think about when determining whether to give him, what the prosecution is asking or something less?
Yeah, the prosecution is asking for 13 years in this case. The maximum that the judge can give him is over 22 years, exactly 22 years and 8 months. So it's a lot of time that is out there. They have found that he was indeed found guilty of carrying a weapon and indeed shooting that weapon, which is considered an assault. So those are things that the jury has decided, and the judge can't touch that. But there are other factors that the judge can think about. His acceptance of remorse, whether in fact the victim was vulnerable, whether in fact there are mitigating factors such as, Mr. Lanez has a son that he cares for and has been active in the community and with community activities and with underprivileged groups.
Well, apparently he had a lack of remorse, right?
Yes, there's what is really, really quite shocking in this case is the fact that there were obviously a number of phone calls and messages sent between the individuals involved in this case. But Tory Lanez has maintained his innocence from start to finish. And even in the sentencing memo, which is 41 pages, quite a long read, it talks about the fact that they believe in the totality of the evidence that indeed this case has not been proven, which is sort of off the table at this point because a jury has
That's a done
him.
deal. Does the case become a little more complicated because we are talking about some pretty famous people?
Yeah, unfortunately, there is some attention to this because of the notoriety of the individuals involved. The victim will be able to make a victim statement today.
Wow.
Victims always, in cases like this, have the opportunity to speak with the court. It's not clear if Megan Thee Stallion is actually going to come. There are some indications that she might have prepared a statement and maybe sending someone there to speak on her behalf. And also, the real wild card is Tory Lanez can make a statement here. And what is he going to say? Because he obviously has not truly apologized or accepted remorse in this situation. So it should be a really exciting day.
And I don't think we've sort of heard from him in the way that we have Megan Thee Stallion, who's obviously had the opportunity to do this interview with Gayle King, where she just talked about how traumatic the incident was for her, and also where she was in her life at the time, that she did feel like she was in a vulnerable place and open to spending time with people perhaps she would not have. So it's been 3 years, though. I mean, I'm sure people are going to hear us talking about this and think, like, isn't he already in jail? Like, why does this take so long?
Yeah, the process is very complex, obviously, because he pled innocent. There was a full trial on this situation. As you know, Megan Thee Stallion initially said that she had shards of glass in her feet, and there was also a friend who was also involved. There was a sexual relationship going on between Megan Thee Stallion, the friend, and the defendant in this case. There were also witnesses that seemed to disappear at some points. There was a change of defense counsel on numerous occasions. There was a request for a new trial. There were 2 attempts to recuse the judge. This case has had it all, and that takes a long time. And even with this, whatever the sentence is that is given to Mr. Lanez, there will inevitably be an appeal, and that will also go on for years.
Wow. Robin Nunn, thank you so much.
Thank you.